Hello, students. I am Mr. Ola Olegbenishola, your dedicated commerce teacher. Welcome to another comprehensive lesson brought to you by Igota Virtual Learning. Today, we are embarking on an exciting journey through one of the most fundamental concepts in economics and commerce. Our focus today is on production, a cornerstone topic in the WAEC syllabus. Production is not just an academic concept, it is the very backbone of our economy and daily lives. Every item you use, from the pen in your hand to the chair you are sitting on, is a result of production processes. Understanding production will give you an invaluable insight into how our world operates economically. Let us start with our lesson objective. By the end of this comprehensive lesson, you will, number one, grasp the definition of production and its significance in economics. Number two, identify and explain, analyze the four factors of production and their interrelationship. Number three, distinguish between primary, secondary, and tertiary production, understanding their roles in the economic chain. Number four, comprehend the concept of division of labor, its types, advantage, and potential drawbacks. Number five, apply this concept to real world scenarios and past questions. Now that you have known the lesson objective for today, let us dive into the definition of production. What is production? Production is the process of creating goods or services that have economic value and utility. It involves transforming inputs, that is resources, into output, finished goods or services that can satisfy human wants and needs. However, production is more than just manufacturing tangible goods. It comprises of any activities that create value. Moving on, what are the key points that you are going to understand about production? Number one, value creation. Value creation, production must result in something of value. For example, when a tailor in Lagos transforms fabric into a beautifully styled traditional agbada, that's creating value through skill and labor. Number two, utility. The output of production must have utility, meaning it should have able to satisfy a want or need. For instance, when a farmer in Benue State grows yam, they are producing food that satisfy people's nutrition needs. Number four, time utility. Production can involve creating time utility. For example, a food preservation company in Kano can process and canned tomatoes is essential, making that produce available for consumption at a later time. Number four, place utility. Production also includes creating place utility when a production company, a transportation, moving goods from factory in about to market in Lagos, they are engaged in production by making the goods available where they are needed. Number five, form utility. What is form utility? This is when production changes the form of something to make it more useful. A furniture maker in Bini who turns wood into chair is creating form utility. Understanding production in this process helps us to appreciate the complexity of economic activities and how various sectors contribute to the overall economy. Let me take you on a trip. What are the examples in Nigeria that refers to the primary production? Number one, in agriculture, cocoa farming in Odo State, rice cultivation in Kebbi State, fishing, commercial fishing operation in the coastal areas of Lagos and Akwa Ibom, mining, coal mining in Enugu, limestone quarrying in Ogun State, forestry, timber production in Cross River State. What are the importance of primary production? Provides raw materials for other sectors, major source of employment, especially in rural areas, significant contributor to Nigerian GDP and exports. Let us move to the next topic. What is that? Factors of production. Yes, the factors of production are resources used in creating goods or services. There are four main factors. Number one, we are going to land. Land in commerce/economics refer to all natural resources used in production. It is not just the surface of the earth, but includes agricultural land, e.g. the vast rice field in Kebbi State, forests like the tropical rainforest in Cross River State, mineral deposits such as the zinc mines in Plateau State, water bodies including the fishing waters in coastal areas of Lagos and River States, air and sunlight using solar energy production in northern Nigeria. What are the importance of land? It is the source of all materials used in production. It is fixed in supply, making it a unique factor. In Nigeria, land right and usage are critical issues often governed by both modern laws and traditional customs. What are the challenges related to land in Nigeria? Number one, land degradation due to oil exploration in the Niger Delta, desertation in the north, urban expansion leading to the loss of agricultural lands. Let us move on to number two, labor. Labor represents the human effort, both physical and mental, involving the production. It includes physical labor, e.g. construction workers building roads in Abuja, mental labor such as software developers in Lagos Tech Hub, skilled labor like the artisans in Kano leather industries, unskilled labor such as the manual workers in agriculture. What are the characteristics of labor? It is an active factor of production, combining other factors. Quality of labor can be improved through education and training. Labor is mobile, but this mobility mobility can be limited by factors like language, culture, immigration, and laws. What are the labor issues in Nigeria? High unemployment rates, especially among youth, brain drain with skilled professionals leaving for opportunities abroad, needs for skills development to match the industry requirements. The number 3 factor of production, capital. Capital refers to the human-made resources used to produce goods and services. It includes physical capital, machinery, tools, building. Example, the equipment used in cement production at the Dangote cement plant in Obajana. Financial capital, money used to buy factors of production. Examples, loans provided by Bank of Industry to small businesses. Infrastructure, roads, power plants, telecommunication networks. Example, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway facilitating trade and commerce. What are the characteristics of capital? It is a derived factor resulting from labor and land. It is a subject to depreciation and needs maintenance. Accumulation of capital is crucial for economic growth. What are the capital challenges in Nigeria? Infrastructure deficits, particularly in power and transportation. Limited access to capital for small and medium enterprises. Need for technological upgrade in many industries. What is the last factor of production that we have on board? That is entrepreneurship. What is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is the ability to combine the other factors of production effectively, innovatively, and take risks. It involves innovation, creating new products or processes. Example, Jason Unjoku founding Iroko TV, revolutionizing how Nollywood content is distributed. Risk-taking, investing resources with no guarantee of success. Example, Alingo Dangote, that's firing from cement into oil refinery. Management, effective organizing the other factors. Example, Tony Lumelu, leadership in banking and the mentorship of African entrepreneurs. Importance of entrepreneurship drives economic growth and job creation. Introduce new technology and business models. Increase competition and efficiency in the market. Entrepreneurship in Nigeria. Growing startup ecosystem, particularly in the fintech. Government initiative like UWIN to support young entrepreneurs. Challenges include difficult business environment and limited access to funding. Can we move on to the next phase of the topic? Types of production. What are types of production that we have? Number 1, we have primary production. What is primary production? Primary production involves the extraction of or harvesting of natural resources. It is the first stage in the production process. What are the characteristics of production? The first primary production that we have. What are the characteristics? Number 1, directly use natural resources, often location dependent, subject to natural limitation and seasoning. Let me take you on a trip. What are the examples in Nigeria that refers to the primary production? Number 1, in agriculture, cocoa farming in Ondo State, rice cultivation in Kebbi State, fishing, commercial fishing operation in the coastal areas of Lagos and Akwa Ibom, mining, coal mining in Enugu, limestone quarrying in Ogun State, forestry, timber production in Cross River State. What are the importance of primary production? Provides raw materials for other sectors, major source of employment, especially in rural areas, significant contributor to Nigerian GDP and exports. What are the challenges? Challenges include vulnerability to climate change and natural disasters, price volatile in global commodity markets, need for modernization and mechanization. Let's talk about the second type of production. What is that? Secondary production. What is secondary production? Secondary production involves transforming raw materials into finished or semi-finished products. It is also known as manufacturing. What are the characteristics? Adds value to primary products, often requires significant capital investment, can benefit from economies of scale. What are the examples in Nigeria? Food processing, flour mills in Lagos, palm oil refinery in Calabar, textile manufacturing, cotton processing and garment production in Kano, automobile assembly, Innoson vehicle manufacturing in Anambra State, petroleum refineries in Port Harcourt and Kaduna. What are the importance? Importance drives industrialization and economic diversification, creates higher value products for domestic use and exports, provide economic opportunities, especially in urban areas. What are challenges? Challenges: high production costs due to infrastructural deficits, competition from imported goods, need for technology upgrades and skill development. Oh, I'm not done yet. There's still tertiary production. Tertiary production involves providing services rather than tangible goods. It's also known as the service sector. Characteristics: intangible output, often requires high level of human capital, can be easily customized to consumer needs. Examples in Nigeria: financial services, banking, operation of First Bank and GTB Bank; education, universities, vocational training institutes; healthcare, hospitals, clinic and telemedicine services; information technology, software development companies in Lagos; tourism, hotel, tours operators and cultural heritage sites. What are the importance? Growing sector contributing significantly to GDP, major source of employment especially for skilled workers, facilitates operation of other sectors. What are the challenges? Need for continuous skills upgrade due to rapid technology changes, quality control and standardization issues, balancing regulation and innovation, especially in sectors like fintech. Let us proceed to another part of the topic: production. What are we discussing about? Division of labor and specialization. Oh, what is the meaning of that? Division of labor refers to the separation of work process into several tasks, which each task performed by separate person or group. This specialization allows workers to focus on specific tasks, increasing efficiency and productivity. What are the key aspects? Task fragmentation, breaking down complex processes into simpler, repetitive tasks. Skill specialization, workers develop expertise in specific areas. Interdependence, different specialized roles must coordinate for final output. What are the historical context? Concept popularization by Adam Smith in The Wealth of the Nation, 1776, became central to industrial revolution and modern manufacturing. What are the types of division of labor? Number one, we have simple division of labor. Tasks are divided among workers based on their skills or ability, often seen in small-scale operations or traditional crafts. Example, in a small Nigerian restaurant, one person might cook, another serve, another handle payment. Number two, complex division of labor. The complex division of labor, tasks are broken down into very specific specialized roles common in large-scale industrial operation. Example, in a large automobile assembly plant in Lagos, workers might specialize in installing specific parts like engine, doors or electrical system. Geographical division of labor. Specialization based on location or regions. Example, Nigeria economic landscape or production in Niger State. Delta, tech startups in Lagos, leather work in Kano. Let us quickly talk about the advantages and disadvantages of division of labor. Let us start with the advantages. Number one, increased productivity. What is that? Specialization leads to higher efficiency. Number two, skill development. What does that mean? Workers become experts in their specific tasks. Number three, time savings. Yes, it reduces time in switching between different types of work. Number four, innovation. Focus work on lead to process improvement. Number five, economic growth. Overall increase in production capacity. Now let us move to disadvantages. What is the disadvantage of division of labor? Number one, monotony. What does that mean? Repetitive tasks can lead to boredom and job satisfaction. Somebody can get bored and dissatisfied when working in repetitive tasks. Number two, dependence. Breakdown in one area can affect the entire production process. Number three, de-skilling. Workers may lose ability to perform a variety of tasks. Number four, alienation. Workers may feel disconnected from the final product. Number five, inflexibility. Highly specialized system may struggle to adapt to changes. In this session, we include some specific WAEC question with option and year in brackets, followed by detailed solution. For brief, I will provide some basic examples of questions which we are going to treat. Follow me along. Question number one from 2017. Which of the following best describe the role of entrepreneur in production? Option A, providing labor for production. Option B, supplying natural resources. Option C, organizing other factors of production. And option D, providing machinery for production. What is the answer? Think over it. The correct answer is option C, organizing other factors of production. What does that mean? An entrepreneur's primary role is to combine land, labor, and capital effectively to produce goods and services. They take risks, make strategic decisions, and innovate to create value. While entrepreneurs may sometimes provide labor, A, or capital for machinery. Option D, these are not their defining roles. Option B is incorrect as natural resources fall under the land factors of production. Question number two, in which of the following industry will you find the highest level of primary production? This is coming from 2019. Option A, automobile manufacturing. Option B, banking services. Option C, crude oil extraction. Option D, textile production. Think over it. Was our answer. The correct answer is option C, crude oil extraction. Let me explain. Primary production involves the extraction or harvesting of natural resources. Crude oil extraction is a classic example of primary production involving the direct exploitation of natural resources. Option A, which is automobile manufacturing, and option D, which is textile production, are examples of secondary production involving the transformation of raw materials into finished products. While option B, banking services, is an example of tertiary production providing intangible services. Let us move on to question number 3, coming from year 2020. Which of the following is not a potential disadvantage of division of labor? Question number: option A, increased worker specialization. Option B, potential for monotonous work. Option C, dependence on other workers. And option D, risk of complete processes. Let us take our time and think over the answer. The correct answer is option A, increased worker specialization. Let me explain how come. Increased worker specialization is generally considered an advantage of division of labor, not a disadvantage. It leads to higher efficiency of productivity. Option B is incorrect because monotonous work is indeed a potential disadvantage, possibly leading to job dissatisfaction. Option C is incorrect as dependence on other workers is a real drawback, where a problem in one area can affect the entire production process. Option D is incorrect because the risk of complete process breakdown due to issues in one specialized area is a recognized disadvantage. Question number 4, which factor of production does a commercial building represent? Option A, land. Option B, labor. Option C, capital. Option D, entrepreneurship. What's our answer? Let's take a moment. Our answer is option C, capital. How come is capital our answer? Explanation: capital refers to human-made resources used in production. A commercial building is a man-made structure used to facilitate business operation, making it a form of physical capital. It is not option A, land, because land refers to natural resources, not constructed buildings. It is not labor, which is option B, as labor refers to the human efforts in production. It is not entrepreneurship, which is option D, as entrepreneurship involves organizing factors of production, not the physical asset themselves. So number 5, let's move on. What type of production is a hairdresser primarily engaging? This is coming from year 2016. Option A, primary production. Option B, secondary production. Option C, tertiary production. And option D, quaternary production. What is our answer? Let's take a deep look. Our answer is option C, tertiary production. Let me explain how come tertiary production is our answer. Tertiary production involves primarily providing services rather than tangible goods. A hairdresser provides a personal services, transforming the appearance of their clients but not creating a tangible separate product. It is not a primary production, which is option A, as the hairdresser is not extracting or harvesting natural resources. It is not secondary production, which is option B, as the hairdresser isn't manufacturing goods from raw materials. Quaternary production, which is option D, it is not a standard category in the three-sector model of the economy that we have discussed. For real-life application, understanding production is crucial for making sense of the world around us. When you see a new smartphone, consider the global supply chain involved, from the mining rare earth materials, that is the primary production, to manufacturing components, that is the secondary production, to the marketing and sales, that is the tertiary production. Think about how the division of labor made it possible to create such a complex device efficiently. This knowledge will help you appreciate the connection of our global economy and make informed decision as a consumer, future professional, or entrepreneur. Let's take a look at the summary. Today we have covered the essential aspects of production. We define production as the process of creating goods or services with value. We explore the 4 factors of production, which are land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. We distinguished between the primary, secondary, and tertiary production. We also touched on the concepts of division of labor and its types. I encourage you to observe the production process around you, from the local market to the large industry, Try to identify the factors of production involved and the type of production taking place. Practice with past WAEC questions and discuss this concept with your peer groups. The more you engage with these ideas, the better prepared you'll be for your exams, and the more importantly for understanding and participating in the Nigeria economic development. Thank you for your attention and engagement today. Remember, your understanding of this concept can contribute to Nigeria's economic growth. If you have any question and clarification, please do not hesitate to ask and drop your comment below this video. Keep learning, stay curious, and I will see you in our next lesson. This is Igota Virtual Lesson signing out. My name is Olabowale Benishola. I am still your commerce teacher. Stay blessed always.